In this video, I want to give you 3 tips about portrait, and the last tip, I believe, is going to blow your mind. And if you need more help after this, I'll give you a link for the Digital Paint Academy in the description. But for now, let's jump right in. All right, tip number 1 is about finding the local color or the skin color of your portrait. This one is hard because a portrait has a lot of textures, different colors, sometimes hair, sometimes makeup. So depending on your reference, it can be really hard to find the local color and to start with the right base color essentially. And so the trick that I have for you is to always find the local color or skin color in between the light and the shadow. Between the light and shadow, you should have a mid-tone. A common mistake is to start with something that's too pale and then having a hard time adding highlights, or starting with something that's too dark and then struggling with the shadows. But if you find a local color that is in between the light and shadow, you'll be able to add volume with more ease. Now, tip number 2 is super important, and it's to know the color zone and add color shift to your skin tone. Now, I already said it. Skin tone is never one hue. Matter of fact, it's a ton of different hues. But the cool thing is you can know where to change the colors based on the color zones. You probably heard of it before. The color zones is different parts on your face, or on the human face. You'll have tones towards the reds, towards the yellows, or towards the blues. And those are attributed because of the different texture of the skin and the thickness of the skin and what's under the skin. So sometimes you're going to have little veins called capillaries that are mostly around the cheekbones, around the nose a little bit. You'll have cartilage that is looking a little bit more yellow. You have thin skin on your forehead that will essentially be just more transparent. Sometimes you have tones of yellow there. You might have a portrait of a man that has a beard or stubble beard that's going to give you a little bit more of a tone of a blue. And between you and I, it's not blue, it's actually gray, but it kind of looks blue in comparison to the color. I won't go into color theory, but that's a cool effect that the gray has, is when you put it to its complementary color, it looks like the opposite color. And all you have to do is to paint a little bit of red, a little bit of orange, sometimes yellow and blue at the right places to add life to your portrait. If you're doing this, I guarantee you'll have better portraits in an instant. It's not just a trick, it's how to add life to pretty much any skin tones. And it's not just the face, by the way. You can have that on your knuckles, on your feet. Again, more material for another video. But for now, all you have to know is that knowing the color zones of the face and applying those hue shift at the right places will add life and more realism to your skin tone for your portraits. Okay, tip number 3 has to do with colors and the colors of your shadows and light. A big misconception is to think of shadows as being the absence of light, when in fact most shadow will always have a little bit of light, and with it, a little bit of color. Now, you probably already know that, but using black as your shadow is a big no-no. If you didn't know that, I'm going to tell you exactly why. It's because most shadows have light and most light have colors. Therefore, using black is going to make everything desaturated and looking muddy instantly. Instead, what you want to think about is about the ambient light. The ambient light is essentially the light that you have in a room that will kind of be introduced in the shadows. So if you are in a room that is mostly green, green will be in your shadow. Mostly orange, orange will be in your shadow, and so on. If you're outside, you can think about the blue sky usually act as the ambient light that is in the shadow. Matter of fact, without knowing anything about color theory on how to do this, if you add blue in your shadows, it will always look good just because we're so used to see it in a natural environment. So that's just a trick between you and I. So what you want to do essentially, especially if you paint portraits from imagination, you want to definitely start with having a background on your portrait. This is going to help you a ton because you'll be able to introduce the color of your background and your shadow from the get-go and add more realism for this particular image. Matter of fact, I would suggest for you to do the trick that I did for these 2 portraits. You see, I'm painting portraits right now with colors from imagination. Both of my reference are in black and white. But what I do here is, because I know that I can introduce this ambient color essentially within my shadows, I'm able to follow the step-by-step of painting a skin tone, starting with the local colors, adding the hue shift, and then the ambient light that has a color from my background to be able to create realistic looking skin tone directly from a grayscale image. All I need to do with the reference is the value. The rest is done from imagination. And that's the power of knowing about color theory and light theory, something that I covered in great detail in the Digital Paint Academy, link in the description, by the way. So that's super important, and especially to fix those muddy colors and muddy skin tone. If you add a little bit of color in the shadow, it's going to make your portrait popped. And also the extra benefit is that by adding an ambient color in your shadows and introducing that a little bit around the portrait, it's going to unify your illustration with one single color. And that's a trick between you and I to make better art at all time. If you have essentially kind of like a tone of a similar color, it will always go and look very good because it's getting close to color harmony, such as the analogous color, which is kind of close on the color wheel, and that creates just essentially just better color scheme. I'll talk about colors in another video. There's a lot to say about this, but for now, if you just don't use black and use the ambient color for your shadows, you're good to go. All right, I'm gonna keep this one short. This is the first video I do in more than a year. I'm still in transition. I don't know if you can see in the background, but I am in a studio from the grandparents of my wife. I'm still in the move. We moved to Colombia recently, and I'm still not in my house yet. I'm looking for a house with my wife. So all that to say that I want to make more videos this year. So if you could let me know in the comments, what are the subjects that you're struggling the most these days? I would love to be able to create videos to help you guys to get better in 2026 and beyond. So with that being said, happy painting, guys. I'm hoping that you like this video. I'll be sure to make some more within the next few weeks. Ciao, ciao.